Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Varadari Gopi Jana Vallabha Varadari Yasoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Varadari Gopi Jana Vallabha Varadari Yasoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayam Swa Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Parivajaka Charja Asatar Sita Sri Srimad Abhay Charnarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Jayam Swa Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Parivajaka Charja Asatar Sita Sri Srimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Sikaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Sri Mathur Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Yamuna Mai Ki Jai. Tulasi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Shri Gaurnitai Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru Garanga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, the Science of Krishna, Canto 3, the Status Quo, Chapter 5, Vidura's Talks with Maitreya, text number 23. Bhagavan Eka Asa Idam Agre Atma Atmanam Vibhu Atma Icha Anugata Atma Nanamati Upalakshana Bhagavan Eka Asedam Agra Atma Manam Vibhu Atme Chananu Gatavatma Nana Matya Lakshanaha Bhagavan Eka Asedam Agra Atma Manam Vibhu Atme Chananu Gatavatma Nana Matyu Palakshanaha Bhagavan Eka Asedam Agra Atma Manam Vibhu Atme Chainanu Gatavatma Nana Matyu Palakshanaha Bhagavan Bhagavan Eka Asedam Agra Atma Manam Vibhu Agra Atma Manam Vibhu Atme Chanu Gatavatma Atme Chanu Gatavatma Nana Matyu Palakshanaha Nana Matyu Palakshanaha
Mechānugatāvatmā nānamatyupalakṣana
Bhagavaneka asedam agra atmatmanang vibhu Atme chanugata vatma. Nanamatu palakshanaha. Bhagavan eka asedam.
Sedam
Agra atmat manam vibhu.
Atmanam Vibhu
Atmecha nugata vatma. Nanamatu palakshanaha.
Bhagavan Eka Ashadam Agra Atma Manan Vibhu Atme Chan Gatav Atma Nana Mati Apal Lakshanaha.
Bhagavan Eka Asedam
Bhagavan Sedam
Agra Atmat Manam Vibhu Atmechanugatavatma
Atma
Nanamatupa
Lakshana. Radha Damodar.
Bhagavan Eka Asedam
Bhagavad Sedam
Agra Atmat Manam Vibhu
Bhagavam Vibhu
Atmechanugatavatma
Atma
Nanamatupa
Lakshana.
Bhagavan Eka Ashadam
Lakshana.
Agra Atma Manam Bhupa Atmechan Gatav Atma Nanamatya Upalshakna.
Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Eka, one without a second. Asa was there. Idam, this creation. Agre, prior to the creation. Atma, in his own form. Atmanam, of the living entities. Vibhu, master. Atma, self. Icha, desire. Anugata, being merged in. Atma, self. Nanamati, different vision. Upalakshana, symptoms. Translation and elaborate purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The personality of Godhead, the master of all living entities, existed prior to the creation as one without a second. It is by His will only that creation is made possible, and again, everything merges in Him. The Supreme Self is symptomized by different names. Report. The great sage here begins to explain the purpose of the 4 original verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Although they have no access to the Srimad Bhagavatam, the followers of the Mayavad impersonalist school sometimes screw out an imaginary explanation of the original 4 verses, but we must accept the actual explanation given herein by Maitreya Muni, because he, along with Uddhava, personally heard it directly from the Lord. The first line of the original 4 verses runs, Aham evasam evagre. The word aham is misinterpreted by the Mayavada school into meanings which no one but the interpreter can understand. Here, aham is explained as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not the individual living entities. Before the creation, there was only the personality of Godhead. There were no Purusha incarnations, and certainly no living entities, nor was there the material energy by which the manifested creation is effected. The Purusha incarnations and all the different energies of the Supreme Lord were merged in him only. The personality of Godhead is described herein as the master of all other living entities. He is like the sun disk, and the living entities are like the molecules of the sun's rays. This existence of the Lord before the creation is confirmed by the Shrutis. Vasudeva Vaidam Agra Asitna Brahma Nacha Sankaraha Ekovai Narayan Nasin Na Brahma Nasanaha. Because everything that be is an emanation from the personality of Godhead, he always exists alone without a second. He can so exist because he is all perfect and omnipotent. Everything other than him, including his plenary expansions, the Vishnu Tattvas, is his part and parcel. Before the creation, there were no Karnarvashayi or Garbhodakshayi or Shirdakshayi Vishnus, nor was there Brahma nor Sankara. The Vishnu plenary expansion and the living entities beginning from Brahma are separated parts and parcels. Although the spiritual existence was there with the Lord, the material existence was dormant in him. By his will only is the material manifestation done and undone. The diversity of the Vaikuntha Loka is one with the Lord, just as the diversity of soldiers is one when and the same as the king. As explained in Bhagavad Gita 9:7, the material creation takes place at intervals by the will of the Lord. And in the periods between the dissolution and creation, the living entities and the material energy remain dormant in him. Translation again. Jai Shri Shri Gaurnitai. Personality of Godhead, the master of all living entities, existed prior to the creation as one without a second. It is by his will only that creation is made possible. And again, everything merges in him. The Supreme Self is symptomized by different names. Dhanavir Maharaj, we'd like to hear your thoughts on this.
Oh, Krishna is differentiated here even from Vishnu. Vishnu expansions are considered parts and parcels. That means Krishna is the original source of everything. But Krishna is two Bhagavan's son. It's also explained by Shiva Goswami, the great philosopher.
Dhanavir Maharaj, thank you very much. So this is a very nice purport by Maitreya Muni. Even though Maitreya Muni is a mixed devotee, still, because he heard directly from the Lord, and he repeated exactly what he heard from the Lord, therefore he's accepted as an authority of Srimad Bhagavatam. He's an authority on the personality of Godhead and the absolute truth. And so every one of us, even though we maybe may not be fully purified, we can repeat what we've heard from a Guru, what we've heard from Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, and distribute this knowledge amongst ourselves and also among those who are eager to hear in the outside world. So everyone is suffering for one of this knowledge. And nowadays, people are so animalistic that it's very hard to find persons who are receptive to this knowledge. So the most merciful thing we could do for people in general is to distribute the Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, and give them Krishna prasadam, and gradually their hearts will be purified to the point where they can understand that I'm not this body. And the personality of Godhead is described here as one without a second. Every one of us has someone who is superior to us and someone who is inferior. And if we could find someone who has no one equal to him and no one superior to him, that person is the personality of Godhead, Krishna. One time, one of Prabhupada's disciples met him and said, Prabhupada, I need your mercy. I'm the most fallen. And Prabhupada said, you're not the most anything. So no matter how much fallen that we think we are, there's someone more fallen than us. And even though we may be unfortunate, there's someone more unfortunate than I am. So in this purport, Prabhupada smashes the Mayavadi impersonalists because they're offenders to Krishna. That's a symptom of someone who loves Krishna. He cannot tolerate someone who is insulting someone he loves. And the Mayavadis say that Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. We also say Brahma is truth, but we do not say that Jagat is Mithya. Jagat is not false, but it's temporary. If the devotees decorate this temple during a festival and cook a very wonderful feast, and someone comes in the temple and says, "This is all false," is that not an insult? So Krishna has created so many wonderful things, many beautiful flowers and trees and birds that are indicative of Krishna's artistic craftsmanship. And if someone says, this is all false, that's an insult to the personality of Godhead. And in this purport, Prabhupada says the word aham is misinterpreted by the Mayavadi school into meanings which no one but the interpreter can understand. You all know what the meaning of aham is? Who can say? Aham, it's a Sanskrit word that's in the first sloka of the 4 Chatu slokis of Srimad Bhagavatam. Aham evasam evagre. So this aham means I. And the speaker is Krishna, who's speaking to Brahma. And this aham word is also used in the Bhagavad Gita. In many places, Krishna says aham. But the Mayavadis, they misinterpret this and they translated it into meanings which no one can understand but them. Sometimes if we have some professor in college who's speaking in such high and intellectual terms that no one can understand, and we think, well, this person must be very, very learned. But Prabhupada explains everything about Krishna, everything about the soul in such a nice way that even a fool like myself can clearly understand what is Krishna, and I'm the servant of Krishna. The philosophy of Krishna consciousness is very simple. Krishna is God. No one's equal to him. No one's greater than him. He's the cause of everything. Krishna's the cause of the Purusha avatars. Before the creation, only Krishna was existing. There were no Mahavishnu. There was no Garbhodakshai Vishnu. There was no Kshirodakshai Vishnu. There's no sun, there's no moon, there's no Shiva, there's no Brahma. Only Krishna was there. And after the annihilation, Krishna will still be there. And Krishna's like the sun disk, and the living entities are like the molecules of the sun's rays. Nowadays, the physicists also recognize that the sunlight we see now every morning, it's not a homogeneous substance, but it's composed of tiny particles called photons. This sunshine is actually emanating from Krishna's effulgence called the Brahmajyoti. So we find that Krishna desires to make this creation possible. And because Krishna has desires, Krishna's part and parcels also have desires. And this is the symptom of life. This is a symptom of soul. One cannot become completely desireless, as sometimes the Buddhists try to become desireless, but it's not possible. But we have to try to dovetail our desires with Krishna's desires. Every one of us has different desires. Just like in the kirtan, someone wants to play mridanga, someone wants to play kartals, someone wants to dance, and someone simply wants to hear. But all of them are participating in the kirtans, so the combination becomes very beautiful, because every one of us is serving Krishna according to our own propensities. And we could see that a table might be sitting in one place for months and months, because the table never becomes restless and desires to move somewhere else, because the soul is not there. It's simply Krishna's matter. So because the living entities have desires, they can move, they can talk, they can have activities. But the Mayavadis want to stop all this and become inert, motionless, desireless, emotionless. But it's not possible. They could try that for some time, but then again, they fall down to material activities like opening schools, opening hospitals, political activities. These are activities of the material world. So this material manifestation takes place at intervals, just like it's like the rotation of the seasons. And there's a rotation of four yugas, and there's a rotation of creation and maintenance and annihilation. And Karnarvi Shai Vishnu is so great, is stated in the Brahma Samhita, that from his pores, when he exhales, innumerable universes come out of his pores. And when he inhales, all the innumerable universes are withdrawn into his transcendental body. And he looks very beautiful with a bluish complexion. He's wearing a Vajjayanti garland of lotus flowers. This Vajjayanti garland reaches down to his knees, and he's lying very comfortably on the Karna Ocean, the causal ocean, and he's lying on the beautiful, soft snake body of Anantasesha, who has thousands of hoods, and each one of these hoods is decorated with valuable jewels. And Krishna and Arjuna went to Vaikuntha Loka once to recover the nine dead sons of the Brahman, and they saw Mahavishnu in his palace, and and Krishna and Arjuna offered obeisances. Someone might say, why did Krishna offer obeisances to Mahavishnu since he's superior? But actually, Krishna was playing the part of a human being. He was playing the part of one of these servants of Mahavishnu. So he acted accordingly along with Arjuna. And Mahavishnu, he's also attracted to Krishna, and he stole these 9 sons of the Brahman's wife, just to have the chance to see Krishna and Arjuna. So even Mahavishnu doesn't get the opportunity to see Krishna unless Krishna agrees to the proposal. So just see how great Krishna is. Everyone in other religions, they say that God is great, but in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we could find out, in Bhagavad Gita, we could find out just how great Krishna is, how great God is. Any comments or questions? Yes, Bhakta Aiden. Bhakta Aiden is shaved up. Haribol.
So before, when you say creation, are you talking about the material creation?
Yes, the spiritual world is ever existing. The Vaikuntha Lokas are neither created nor annihilated, but anything that is created is also annihilated.
So Vrindavan, Goloka, and all those other places, those were existing along with Krishna before, or was it just Krishna and his body? Or I don't really understand.
Krishna's above Goloka Vrindavan is not different from Krishna, and the Vaikuntha planets, Narayan, are eternally existing, but the Purusha avatars, they're said to be emanating from Krishna, so they're manifested and sometimes not manifested. Yes, Dr. Joseph.
Can you repeat that last thing that you said about manifest and unmanifested?
The Purusha avatars are manifested after Krishna. Just like there's a room full of candles, and there's one original candle, and from that one original candle, which is Krishna, all the other candles in the room are lit. So all the candles have equal power. These incarnations, Purusha incarnations, are very powerful. They're just as powerful as Krishna, but they're all expansions of Krishna. Krishna is the original personality of God here. Magadari Prabhu.
Could I try to add some supporting comment?
Yes, please do.
So on this point about the Purusha avatars being manifested and unmanifested, in the material world, we hear many times Krishna tells us in the Bhagavad Gita that He's within our hearts. Hrideshe Arjuna Tishtati, right? That's one of them. And we see on in the Bhagavad Gita, there's pictures of that where the Kshiro Dakshai Vishnu is within the heart of everyone. And then we also see that Kshiro Dakshai Vishnu is in the atom on the front of the SSR, which is actually stated by Lord Brahma. So he goes with us when we go into the material world as Kshiro Dakshai Vishnu, but in the spiritual world, there isn't a Kshiro Dakshai Vishnu because they're all fully surrendered to Krishna just there in front of them. And they're associating with him like that. Whereas we have to get guidance from within because we don't have that type of purity. So then the spiritual master, that person has fully harmonized his will with the will of the Lord. So then it's said that he is the external manifestation of the super soul. Anyway, so the point I was trying to make was that in the spiritual world, the Lord isn't inside their heart. He's right there in front of them.
Magadari Prabhu is very intelligent. Thank you. So it's time now for the Sankirtan Festival. Thank you all for hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. All glories to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada.
Kindly ask devotees to send in their book scores if you have not yet. At the moment, it looks like we have 2 book distributors. So we'll start with Magadari Prabhu. Magadari had 3 big books, 1 medium book. Oh. First, let me say we read these for the pleasure of their lordships, Sri Sri Gornatai, Srila Prabhupada, who makes this possible to serve his wonderful mission, His Holiness Daniper Goswami, who gives us this wonderful space to do so at RVC, and the assembled devotees. Hare Bo. All right. Magadari Prabhu had 3 big books, 1 medium, 3 small, for a total of 4.25 book points. Sister Magadari. And Jagannath Prabhu had 15 Maha books for a total of 30 points. And Jagannath, we have some prasadam for you. Haribol. And Bhakta Joseph with 20 Maha books, 37 big books, 25 medium books, 38 small books for a total of 99 book points.
There's one more score, and then you should give yours since you were the top scorer. There was one more score there on the list. Just sent in.
We have one more book score. Mridanga Prabhu. He had 1 Maha, 8 Bigs. I'm a little confused about this. Okay, 5 medium and 4 small. That looks funny. For a total of 13.5 book points. You'd like me to read? Or you'd like me to? Okay. Well, I was kind of banking on the fact that I could maybe go last because I can't think of one so good at the moment. Which trying to remain pretty detached to the outcomes out there. So like I'm trying to be personal with people, but I'm also not really remembering so much of my interactions. Trying to approach people in a different way. Yeah, he did it. I gave him a book. And he didn't go. I met a nice young man. His name was Steven. And he was he was cool. I walked up to him and I told him that I'm a monk and that I had a book for him. And he was pretty excited to talk to me. He asked if we could sit down. So we sat for a bit and asked me very sincere questions. Told me a little bit about his life and whatnot. And I was able to tell him a little bit about what we do here. And despite my forgetting to reach out to him, he decided to take the initiative to come to Sunday Feast on his own, which was really nice. And so already excited to come back. We should see him today, 3:00. So this is very exciting. And Transcendental Book Distribution, Ki Jai.
My highlight was during Saturday. It was like right when we got to the Harinam spot. There was a person, a man, who was waiting for the streetcar. His name was Hare. I told him I gave him the spiel. I said everything that I needed to say, and I asked him for a donation, and he said that he would donate. And he said something interesting because he said that he was a Protestant Christian before I think he's an atheist now or something, but he said that he didn't really agree with Protestant Christianity because they don't accept LGBTQ people. So, but he asked me like what I thought about it, and I kind of froze. So I just said like the first thing that jumped into my mind, which was like, yeah, you can do that. Just, put Krishna in the center, and that's it. So he seemed to like that, and he gave a nice $8 donation for Bhagavad Gita. So that's all I have to say. Hare Krishna.
Well, the books I distributed were at the plaza for the most part. there was it's all kind of like a blur now, because it's trying to keep up with the Harinam party, and then at the same time distribute books is quite a task. So um, I met some nice people, but was nothing really memorable that stood out that I can think of. Now it's kind of all a blur. So sorry about that. Transcendental bus distribution Tida.
So yeah, I went to the first Friday. I had to do some rounds, so that was there. But really, it's really an amazing opportunity to do preaching in the city. There's a lot of people there, and they're all a little bit younger. So it's a good opportunity. So anyway, I went on the corner and I was right next to the Harinam. So there was the type of a mood that was like, you know, okay, we're moving on. No, thank you. But I just kept trying to, make a small connection with somebody and use that connection to give them Prabhupada's books. So one person stopped when I kind of waved at them and said, "Did you get some yet?" And the person said, "No, looks cool." And the person pulled out a few dollars and gave me that. So I gave him Teachings of Lord Chaitanya and a real small book. And yeah, Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai. So we'll end this meeting. Then I have an announcement.